sit down. Today is a celebration of love, of commitment, of friendship, of family, and of two people who are going to be partners in crime forever. You have known each other from the first glance of acquaintance to this point of commitment. At some point, you decided to marry. From that moment of yes to this moment of yes, indeed, you have been making commitments in an informal way. All of those conversations that were held in a car or over a meal or on the phone while you were living apart, all those conversations that began with when we're married and continue with I will and you will and we will, all those talks that included someday and somehow and maybe, all of those promises that are unspoken matters of the heart led us here today. The symbolic vows that you're about to make are a way of saying to one another, you know, all those things that we've promised and hoped and dreamed, well, I meant it all, every word. Look at one another and remember this moment in time. Before this moment, you have been many things to one another: acquaintance, companion, best friend, even teacher, for you have learned much from one another these past few years. Shortly, you shall say a few words that will take you across a threshold of life, and things between you will never quite be the same. For after today, you shall say to the world, this is my husband, this is my wife. Amanda and Kenny have written some words for each other. Please, Kenny, go ahead.
Amanda, you're probably the only person in the world that can get me to write something like this, and I think it's safe to say you're definitely my other half, my better half, and my partner in crime. From the first night we met at your favorite smooth jazz bar in downtown Scottsdale, we just hit it off. I mean, hit it off in the way where we just sat there and made fun of all the people who would go to a jazz bar. I wish I could say it was love at first sight, but I think it was more like love at first insult. I'll never forget the day you tried to bribe me with Starbucks and then told me you had to move to Memphis for work. I immediately broke up with you, as gentlemen should. After about 10 seconds of crying and coffee, we decided we would try long distance and see what happened. It was a lot easier than it should have been. I think living apart that year or so really brought us together. It reaffirmed our trust, and I've never suffered through so much talking on the phone so willingly. I've never met anyone who works harder than you. I know you don't think you do, but you balance your life and work expertly. I'm so proud telling people about what you do and what a badass you are. You bring out the best in me and have made me a better man than I ever would have been without you. I only hope I can give you everything you deserve, provide for you, and always make you feel safe and put you before anything else. You truly are my everything, and I am nothing without you. I love you more than anything and can't wait to see what life has in store for us.
I actually wrote the exact same thing. Anyone who knows me knows that I'm not one for much emotion, but the last few years have been a lot. I first made the biggest decision of my life to uproot everything I've ever known on the East Coast to a place for the desert I couldn't even point out on the map at the time. Arizona turned out to be an amazing place that I quickly learned to love and never wanted to leave. After a few years, I finally made again what I thought to be the biggest decision of my life and bought my dream home, only to meet my dream man shortly after. I'm supposed to awe. You helped me make my first home repairs and defended it against pesky pigeons. Before I knew it, I was faced with yet again the biggest decision of my life and quickly had to sell this house to follow my career dreams once more without knowing if it would ever give me the opportunity to return back to Arizona. I met many people during this time from Arizona to Memphis to Chicago who taught me more than they will ever know. But the whole time you were there, cheering me on, talking me off the ledge night after night when I was convinced that I wasn't qualified for the job, telling me I could do anything I wanted, except move back to Memphis ever again. During this time, I lost one of the most important in my life, my grandpa, who also thought I could do anything. Only you, who had a similar bond with your grandfather, could understand that loss. And I'm just so thankful that you got to meet him one time, even if it was just one trip to the beach. Although we're on a beach right now in Mexico and not Ocean Isle, and let's be honest, neither one of our grandfathers ever would have agreed to come here alive. I know they are both here right now in spirit. Yours, probably happy that you found someone who could tolerate you and even encourages you to be a smart ass. Mine, well, thrilled that I found a Republican, an Eagle Scout, and someone who didn't vote for Obama or Hillary Clinton. Each opportunity these past few years has had an unexpected surprise behind it, but I haven't regretted a single moment because I know we are here right now where we should be. They say to marry someone who brings light into your life, but that's not what you do at all. You bring laughter, sarcasm, support, and maybe an annoyance or two, or 10. I can't wait to see what the next chapter has in store for us, but I wouldn't have wanted to get here any other way. I love you, my #1 fan, my best friend, my match, my soulmate, my unicorn.
And that brings us here. A time to pause, look back, and smile at the moments that brought you here. And a time to look ahead at all the moments that are still to come. I'm here, we're all here, because we want those moments for you. We're here to hope with you, to support you, to be proud of you, and to remind you that love isn't happily ever after. Love is the experience of writing your story. It's not one moment, not even this moment, it's every moment. Big ones like saying I love you, getting engaged, building a home and a life together, but mostly a million little ones that come in between the big moments. Falling asleep next to one another, making dinner together, binge watching Netflix shows, getting a big hug when you get back from work. These everyday moments fuse together into one big, unforgettable experience. You fell in love by chance, but you're here today because you're making a choice. You both are choosing each other. You've chosen to be with someone who enhances you, who makes you think, makes you smile, and makes your every day brighter. You're about to make a promise to each other that you intend to keep. You're going to vow to take care of each other, to stand up for one another and find happiness in the other. There's a simple premise to each of these promises. You're vowing to be there. You're teaming up and saying to the other, every experience I'm going to have, I want you to be a part of. So this is a celebration, and every celebration needs a toast. I will ask everybody to get a glass, even the ones that are not drinking, because the bride and groom would really like you to have one for the toast. You've both chosen to wear the rings as a reminder of these promises. People often say wedding bands are a perfect circle, with no beginning and no end. But these rings did have a beginning. The stones were formed a long time ago, deep with the earth. Eventually, a series of lucky events caused them to rise to the surface, where someone dug them up. Metal was then liquefied in a furnace at 1,000 degrees, molded, cooled, and painstakingly polished. Something beautiful was made from raw elements. Love is like that. It comes from humble beginnings, and through a combination of serendipity and effort, imperfect beings shape into something extraordinary. It's the process of making something beautiful where there was once nothing at all. As you look at these rings over the years, I hope you remember that. You've created something invaluable, and just as I know you'll protect these rings, I'm confident you'll protect the commitment you've made to one another today. Do you, Kenny, take Amanda to be your wife? Will you laugh with her, go on adventures with her, support her through life's tough moments, be proud of her, grow old with her, and find new reasons to love her every day?
I
Do you, Amanda, take Kenny to be your husband? Will you laugh with him, go on adventures with him, support him through life's tough moments, be proud of him, grow old with him, and find new reasons to love him every day?
I do.
Will you, Amanda and Kenny, bring out the best in one another, share your happiest moment together, and love each other absolutely for the rest of this lifetime and forever may come next? So this is a celebration, as I told you, every celebration needs a toast. To wrap this up, before we all head to the reception for a delicious dinner and lots of dancing, I'll ask you to raise your glasses to Amanda and Kenny as we celebrate their love. May your marriage bring you all the exquisite excitement a marriage should bring. May you need one another, but not out of weakness. May you want one another, but not out of lack. May you look for things to praise, often say I love you, and take no notice of small faults. May you have happiness, and may you find it making one another happy. May you have love, and may you find it loving one another. By the power of your love and commitment, and the power vested in me, I'll now pronounce you husband and wife. Cheers.